Hey, I know your pain. I was feeling the same way not long ago. I'm here to help you. In the following minutes, I'll show you how I was able to transform my life. Watch this closely and thank me after that.
The drugs couldn't help me. The doctors couldn't help me. The thought of leaving my kids couldn't help me. I couldn't take this unbearable pain anymore. With a bottle of alcohol in one hand and a fistful of Vicodin on the other hand, the only thought in my mind was to kill myself and end this torturous misery. As tears were running down my face, just moments from reaching my deathbed, a young, beautiful woman pulls me away from the cascade mess and hugs me firmly. This woman was my loving wife. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now, sharing the tragedy I went through, all because of the grueling pain in my joints that only got worse and worse, to the point where the only way to stop the pain was to take my own life away. However, this very tragic moment led to the biggest breakthrough to relieve joint pain that you or I will ever see in our lifetimes. A breakthrough that fixed my joint pain in as little as 30 minutes, where no painkiller or drug can possibly do for me in weeks. It's just a simple joint pain hack that relieves pain instantly, while rebuilding and rehydrating your joints so you can finally end your joint pain for good. When you try this simple joint pain hack for yourself, you'll finally say goodbye to those painkillers or silly calcium pills and enjoy the mobility and freedom of strong, healthy joints that you haven't experienced since your 20s or early 30s. Just imagine waking up every morning pain-free, without an ache or ounce of stiffness that can possibly ruin your day. Your lower back pain will instantly disappear. Your aching knees will finally feel strong and healthy. Your neck stiffness will vanish. Your tight hips will feel mobile and free. Your elbow tendonitis will be gone like a breeze in the wind. You'll finally be able to play with your kids or grandkids and do the activities you've been meaning to do for so long without a worry in the world that any of your joints would nag or irritate you. I'm 59 years old, and I get comments all the time that I move like someone half my age. And I can honestly say I've never been happier than this very moment, because I don't have to deal with that life-draining pain anymore. All because of this life-changing joint pain hack I'm going to share with you right now. So make sure you listen to every word I have to tell to you, or you will be stuck in the same misery I was, tormenting yourself with unbearable pain when a solution like this can easily fix your joint pain in as little as 30 minutes. Things will only get worse if you try to mask the pain with over-the-counter painkillers or prescription drugs just like it did for me. Like I said, it's very important that you listen to every word that I have to tell you so that you can effortlessly get rid of your joint pain faster than you can ever imagine. At first, I was surprised that this joint pain hack wasn't more popular or viral because it literally relieves pain instantly. And trust me when I say this, you won't find the secret in any health journal or newspaper. It hasn't been in the Journal of Medicine or the New York Times or even the Harvard Medical Journal. I scoured every mainstream source of medical research I could find. And even though the solution is completely natural and works better than anything else in the market today, nobody was talking about this. Because this is not a medication. It's not another painkiller or aspirin. And no, it's not marijuana either. I tried every single one of those treatments, and none of them helped like this did. Honestly, some of them caused me painful side effects and only brought me closer to suicide. With those bad solutions, my joint pain would still flare up, like throwing gas on a fire, until my very life was in danger. And I'm not alone. Over 107,000 people a year are regularly hospitalized, and another 16,500 die because of complications with commonly prescribed over-the-counter medications and joint pain relievers. And don't even get me started on the countless surgery horror stories I could tell you. It's joint pain murder, and it's not an accident. The despicable truth about the multi-trillion-dollar health industry is that joint pain is a cash cow worth billions of dollars to the people at the top. And it's only profitable as long as you keep paying for their inferior treatments. So they feed you pills that mask the problem, but never fix it. Meanwhile, this newly discovered secret could fix your problems in just a few moments. It's been working to solve joint pain behind the scenes of the medical media establishment for over 5,000 years. And it's working right now for anyone who uses it. And yet, you won't see it on the shelves of your local pharmacy or supermarket. Even if you were to go to medical school, your professors would not tell you about this. Because not even most doctors know about the real cause of age-related joint pain and how to fix it for good, which is why so many of them honestly but incorrectly believe joint pain just happens with age. It's wrong. As I discovered, the underlying secret that finally fixed my joint pain in as little as 30 minutes came from a group of men and women whose job is to weather joint pain after car crashes, fight scenes, and falls from high buildings every single day. These men and women are making their living by getting banged up and doing it again and again, without letting rusty joints stop them for a second. Who are they? They're stunt doubles. And more than anyone else in the world, they know the secret to fast, effective joint pain relief. You see, most stunt doubles in Hollywood who need fast joint pain relief don't even consider seeing a doctor. They simply use this secret solution because they know the two very specific problem areas that need addressing and how this groundbreaking solution solves it in the blink of an eye. They keep it to themselves, only share it with their inner circle. And even when an outsider like me walks in asking questions, they keep quiet. I know all this because I was lucky enough to meet one of them. And all I had to do was tell a little white lie that tricked him into sharing this secret with me. Since learning his secret, I walk around with the comfort and mobility of a 28-year-old. I don't groan when I get up or sit down in my chair. And I can keep up with my grandkids better than my children can. Although we'll see what happens now that they've started using this solution too. The good news is, thanks to this retired stuntman, nicknamed Big Joe the Pro, I now have the three-phase solution that banishes joint pain in moments. It works to relieve, rebuild, and rehydrate the joints with a fast-acting, all-natural ingredient we like to call Agent Orange. Other solutions simply try to numb your pain or trick you into feeling better, when really it's just garbage. Or they mask the pain so you can ignore the problem more easily. But the revolutionary solution I am sharing with you is nothing like that. This never-before-seen solution works better than anything you've ever seen in your life. It doesn't matter what past injuries you're dealing with or how much you weigh or how beat up or worn down you may think your joints are. Literally everyone who tries this joint pain hack says it's like giving your joints a new life. This revolutionary joint pain hack has been proven to improve posture by giving your vertebrae in your back a nice soft cushion, help with grinding knee syndrome so you can enjoy fluid range of motion, effortless mobility, and joint comfort throughout the day, and protect against further age-related joint damage, acting like a shield around your newly restored joint cartilage. Which is why Big Pharma and even the healthcare industries are furious about the controversial information I'm sharing with you right now. They desperately want to keep this information hidden from people like you and will do absolutely anything to take this website down. This might be your only opportunity to get this cutting-edge secret to finally end your joint pain misery like it did for me. So make sure you don't leave this page or you'll miss out on the biggest breakthrough you'll ever see in your life to permanently fix joint pain for good. Before I continue, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sam Pitt. I'm not related to famous actor Brad Pitt. But to my surprise, it was my famous last name that helped me sneak into the clique of stunt doubles who showed me the amazing joint pain hack that literally saved my life. You see, before discovering this stunt double secret, my joint pain started small and quickly got worse. At first, I realized I wasn't going for long walks like I used to. I didn't even dream of playing sports anymore and enjoying quality time with my family. Those moments were few and far between because I was always pushing through joint pain. It wasn't just me who noticed. I was spending less quality time with my wife because both of us were grumpy and inactive with achy, stiff joints. Finally, I decided to see my doctor, which was a bad choice. He showed me a scary video about age-related joint pain. So I saw the truth about what was happening inside my joints. How inflammation destroys the cartilage meant to cushion your bones so they don't rub against each other. How the fluids in your joints become dehydrated until they're like a coarse sand, and how your bones are slicing away cartilage just as a knife cuts through cold butter. At the end of the appointment, he did what most doctors do. He gave me a prescription, some anti-inflammatory painkiller, which I accepted. But when I thought about it, I realized I don't want to numb myself. I wanted a real solution. So, I went to a physical therapist and then a masseuse. Both made me feel good while I was on the table, but did nothing to protect my joints from future harm. And the pain quickly came back after only a few hours after my appointments, not to mention how expensive it was. So I tried chondroitin and glucosamine supplements from the store, but I was told by some friends that those things are just a waste of money. After 3 weeks of taking these supplements, I didn't feel the slightest bit of a difference. Finally, I went so far as to mix together home remedies, which was absolutely ridiculous. They never worked because some of the health foods I was using in these home remedies were actually damaging my joints. So while I thought I was doing the right thing for my body, in reality, I was regularly eating 7 specific health foods that kill your joints. And no matter what you do, you'll never have the joint comfort you want if you eat those foods, which left me with the option to take drugs like codeine or Vicodin, or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or Advil. In either case, I was either going to face the possibility of addiction or an ulcer. But what other choice did I have? I was ready and willing to risk it if it meant that this agonizing pain would stop. So, I went back to the doctor and asked for a prescription, which he gladly filled. Each night, I would wash those drugs down with some water. And each day, they became less and less effective as my body developed a tolerance to them. Until one day, when I was laying in bed and I could feel my heartbeat in my hips, knees, and hands, as if the actual bones and joints were on fire. The pain was gothic. As the days went by, I stopped drinking water to wash down those pills and used whiskey instead. And instead of just taking 1 or 2 pills as prescribed by the doctor, I started taking handfuls of 5 to 6 pills. I fell into a deep depression that I couldn't get out of. Until one day, the pain was so great, I decided to give up and just kill myself. I was alone at my kitchen table. I took a fistful of those pain pills and just shoved them into my face. And I drank myself stupid, waiting for the good Lord to take me into his arms. If it wasn't for the fact that my wife came home early from work, I probably wouldn't be here to tell you about it. She saw the tears in my eyes as soon as she walked in the door and knew something wasn't right. "Honey, what are you doing?" she said. All I could do in my drunken state was blabber. "I'm ready to die," over and over again like a twisted maniac. She must have seen my empty pill bottle because moments later she called 911. I remember the scream of the alarm and red and blue lights flashing around me as the ambulance pulled up to our house. My wife was crying. On the inside, my pills were slowly tearing through my guts and sewing a bleeding ulcer into my stomach. The alcohol felt like a fire burning up my windpipe, and through it all I could still feel the pulsing pain of my joints. As we got to the emergency room, I was curled over in pain, drunk and sweating on a stretcher, gripping my stomach while I bled from the inside out. And in hindsight, I am thankful for the experience, because it was this agony that helped me figure out how to end my joint pain suffering and forced me to take action. However, I still wouldn't wish this kind of pain on my worst enemy. As I was wheeled through the halls of the hospital like a piece of cheap luggage, I looked around and thought about all the things I had missed out on because of my joint pain. My son's wedding. I barely remember the ceremony because my hip was on fire. My grandkids' only Disney World vacation. The whole time, my back was killing me while my wife complained about how her knees felt like 2 cinder blocks grinding against each other. And adding up all the days of work I missed, I realized joint pain was costing me close to $6,900 over the past few months. All because my joint pain made work a nightmare. I was on thin ice with my job as it was. My boss probably thought my trip to the emergency room was some kind of stunt to get out of work. And now, I was getting pushed along the hallways of this lonely hospital, about to have a doctor tell me all the things I would never get to do in the future. Everything I would miss, all because of my joints. "Your joint pain is going to kill you," he said. In that distant, unfamiliar way doctors speak, he explained, "It's a problem on both ends. You can't take any more of the painkillers because it puts you at risk of another ulcer, or worse, an overdose. And at your age, you simply don't have any good cartilage left in your joints. So the only other option to manage your pain is surgery." I couldn't believe it. What was I hearing? Start to think about a hip replacement, or a wheelchair. His words froze in the air and fell to the ground like glass, shattering my dreams of a better future. I didn't want a fake hip. I don't want surgery, and I certainly didn't want my joint pain to force me into a wheelchair. What would my life be like being disabled? Most of my friends and family would have a hard time with it, and I'm sure everyone would pretend to be understanding, but the humiliation would be awful. I would be completely dependent on other people until one by one they would leave me, and everything in my life would be up to my wife, who was crying beside me. I saw my life turning into a pitch-black pit of social isolation where no one would come to save me. And I swore I wasn't going to let that happen, even if it meant suicide. But the fact is, if I didn't do something quickly to rebuild the cartilage in my joints and relieve my pain, I would get thrown onto the operating table and be cut open like a slab of holiday meat. The more I thought about this, the more depressed I became. During the drive home, I could see the torture I just put my wife through all over her face, and it hurt me almost as much as the joint pain itself. I knew I needed to do something, not just for me, but for everyone who was close to me. However, the next few days proceeded to be the most unproductive days of my life. I felt unmotivated and worthless. My job would call and I wouldn't pick up. Eventually, I turned my phone off. To get everything off my mind, I laid around the house watching action movies for days on end without moving. I envied those Hollywood stars on screen, seeing them jump from one building to another, walking away from car crashes without a scratch, jumping onto and off of horses as if they were getting in and out of a car. I bet they don't groan when they get up from a chair or bend over to pick something up. On a tight filming schedule, I bet they don't have more than 24 hours in between one crazy stunt and another. How do they put their bodies through so much abuse and still be able to perform without suffering the short-term and long-term effects of joint and muscle pain like everyone else? Now, I know this is just the movies, but it got me thinking. Some of these old guys are in their 60s and 70s and do their own stunts. After doing some research, I discovered that the stunt doubles who do the stunts for these older actors are also in their 60s and 70s. And they have a surprisingly long, healthy, and active life even after they retire from the stunts industry. So we're talking about a pain-free life into your late 70s, 80s, and even 90s. Imagine if all the aches, pains, and stiffness you feel now went away and never came back until your 90s, if they ever came back at all. Imagine that in just 24 hours you could do all the things you used to be able to do. And just think about how great you would feel with the peace of mind that you're not going to be dependent on anyone because your joints fail. These ideas buzz through my brain like bees in a busy hive. If I could find out what these stunt performers do for joint pain, I could do the same thing for myself and get out of the hip replacement. And not just that, I could completely fix all my joints. My cracking back, tight neck, creaking hands, grinding knees, snapping ankles, swollen elbows, and uneven shoulders. And just like that, I snapped out of my depression and decided to fix myself or die trying. The next thing I did was reach out to one of my old friends who works as a cameraman in the movie industry. He said he would ask around about older men and women who retired from stunts and were still living healthy, happy lives. That's how I got introduced to the retired stuntman Big Joe the Pro, a man who spent 30 years jumping from buildings, choreographing fight scenes, and letting his joints get jolted around like a sack of potatoes. But more importantly, a man who is now 74 years old who enjoys playing in the backyard with his 3 beautiful grandkids, going for jogs and bike rides, and still makes time to golf and vacation while enjoying the activities he loves completely pain-free. I spoke with him on the phone and, between you and me, told a little white lie to make sure he wouldn't hold anything back from me. I actually told him that Brad Pitt was my cousin. I knew it would help if he thought I was an insider, and it did. As luck would have it, he lived just 3 hours away from my house, so I could drive out to see him. He invited me inside the moment I arrived, and after a bit of chit-chat, I started talking about my achy joints, my fear of hip surgery, and I asked him, "What's your secret for staying pain-free, Joe? How on earth did you do stunt after stunt for 30 years, and now you're 74 with joints that still don't hurt you?" Surprisingly, Big Joe laughed at me. He was tall, a little overweight, you might even say out of shape, and he didn't appear overly athletic. But when he moved, it was like watching someone in their 20s or 30s. It was smooth, comfortable, and it was clear he wasn't stiff like so many people over 50. In fact, as he laughed at my question, he opened a fresh jar of pickles just like it was nothing. He looked at me and said, "I use nutrition hacks." Now, I didn't drive 3 hours to meet this guy for him to tell me about some hocus-pocus biohacking. I wanted real answers. So with a bit more prodding, he explained. Nutrition Hacks makes a supplement with a mixture that's been used by people in the stunts industry since it began. It targets 2 real problem areas and causes of joint pain, and solves it like that. He snapped his fingers as if to tell me the solution works in a blink. But when he told me it was a supplement, I wanted to run in the opposite direction. I tried all the supplements out there and none of them worked. Of course, the smart guy that he was, he asked me if I'd ever tried Nutrition Hack supplements. And I had to tell him the truth. I had never tried one of theirs. This mixture, as he put it, is different. The 2 reasons for joint pain are cartilage wear and inflammation, which is why this solution has ingredients that address both. Some of the ingredients you may have heard of, chondroitin and glucosamine, are in it. But it's filled with these ingredients in a different combination than any other supplements out there I knew of. And that's why it works when nothing else does. Now, I would need to see it to believe it, but first I wanted to know how it works. And the answer is a simple 3-phase process. Relieve the pain and inflammation. Rebuild the cartilage. And the last little-known piece of the puzzle is to rehydrate the joints. These 3 steps are done with just a handful of natural ingredients, and it will completely restore your joint health. One of these secret ingredients is named Agent Orange, as he liked to call it. This secret ingredient is an extract of curcuminoids from curcumin, the ingredient that gives turmeric its orangey yellowish color, an ingredient used in Ayurvedic medicine for over 5,000 years. It's a 100% all-natural inflammation controller guaranteed to give you healthier levels of inflammation throughout your entire body, which is why you begin to feel relief from it almost right away. In fact, this ingredient alone is scientifically proven to work better than over-the-counter medications. But for an even more effective mixture, Nutrition Hacks combines it with an innovative chondroitin and glucosamine complex, which has been shown to rebuild the joint cushion. In a long-term process, it de-ages and rebuilds your joints brick by brick. And for the 3rd phase, a hyaluronic acid naturally found in the fluids of your eyes and your joints is added. This is the ingredient that rehydrates and acts as a lubricant in your joints and other tissues. It has also been studied for improving how the body responds to injury, so you have an extra layer of protection against future trips and falls. It sounded great in theory, but the real question on my mind was, will it work for me? So I asked Joe if I could give it a try. And he joked that I could as he grabbed a precious little bottle and poured 2 tablets into my hand. Looking down at those tiny tablets in my palm, I really wondered if it would work as well as he said. Well, I thought, there's only one way to find out. Taking a nice gulp of water to wash it down, I swallowed the tablets. And what I felt next was like a shower washing warm relief over my joint pain until it disappeared like a ship in the night. I'd never felt anything like it. In just 30 minutes after taking the supplement, I felt a wave of comfort come over me. It was like being a kid again when my mom would give me a hug or make everything feel better. This was more than just a supplement, I said. This is life-changing. I immediately decided to give this to my wife for her to try. I shoved $100 into Joe's hand for the remaining tablets and begged him for the address of this exclusive Nutrition Hacks company so I could get more. Upon arriving home, I practically knocked my front door down. I jogged inside to my wife. "Honey, you've got to try this," I yelled. "It's better than anything you can possibly imagine." After 30 years of working 12-hour shifts as a registered nurse, I wasn't sure if there was anything that would bring my wife's knees, hands, and ankles back from the grave. But as sure as the sun rises, she took down the tablet. And when she woke up the next morning, she looked up at me and the corners of her mouth lifted into a smile I hadn't seen in years. "What is this?" she asked. "I haven't felt this good since nursing school." Over the next few days, she became the young, beautiful, and happy woman I fell in love with and proposed to so many years ago. It was then I knew I had a responsibility to introduce this to my coworkers, friends, and extended family to help them get over their joint pain, and to make sure it would work for anyone else who tried it. And it did. In just a few days, I started getting text messages like these. "You're a miracle worker. My elbow pain is completely gone. I went for a 2-mile walk with the dog today. My knees feel so much better. I was able to go for a bike ride with no hip pain, and Jim is talking about playing tennis again." With each text coming in one after another, I knew this was big. Actually, this was really big. Well, there was only one thing left to be sure of. After getting a shipment of new bottles from Nutrition Hacks and using my famous last name to convince them I was in the industry a few times, I took the supplement religiously for 2 months. I felt great every day. However, I had an upcoming doctor's appointment to talk about my options for hip surgery. I was terrified. What if this supplement was working just like the painkillers I'd taken? What if it was only masking the pain while my joints were wearing down even further? Well, those fears were put to rest the moment my doctor gave me the results of my MRI. He came into the room confused, looking at my images against the backlight, and said, "I've never seen anything like this. If I didn't know any better, I'd say I was looking at the hips and knees of someone in their 20s. When he spoke those words, I knew this was the most important thing I could be doing with my life. So I told my boss, who never gave me respect anyway, that I would be quitting my job. And since that day, I have put 110% of my focus into getting Nutrition Hacks to make this available to everyone. Now I spread the word about how life-changing this newly revealed secret can be. Because I can tell you that from all the texts, calls, and emails I've received about this amazing solution, when you start taking it in just a few short moments, your pain will begin to disappear as fast as the steam above a tea kettle. Your cartilage will start to rebuild itself, making your joints stronger, sturdier, and healthier than ever. You will be able to do things you love without letting pain and stiffness stop you. You will have the peace of mind to spend time with friends and family pain-free. You don't worry about becoming a burden to your family as your joints turn to dust, because they will be like well-hydrated pillows of cartilage. And everyone who loves you will appreciate and respect how strong and capable you are because you can move like you're supposed to. I promise you, this is the greatest breakthrough in joint pain treatment, and it will change your life when you try it. It's called the Nutrition Hacks Joint Pain Hack. The best-kept pain management secret in the world now revealed. The Joint Pain Hack is an advanced joint pain relief supplement for people over 50 who want to enjoy the best joint comfort on the market today. With the key all-natural ingredients you've just seen, each tablet is carefully measured and filled with the elements that have been proven to relieve, rebuild, and rehydrate joint tissues for thousands of years. And when you try Joint Pain Hack now, you will get out of bed without cracks and creaks, with your joints gliding seamlessly like a well-oiled machine. The Agent Orange ingredient will instantly relieve any pain you're feeling now. The hydrating power of hyaluronic acid will give you full range of motion and mobility so you can move like you did in your youth. And trust me, when you can move around without pain, the list of things you can do gets so long, it would take 2 lifetimes to enjoy it all. You'll be able to take vacations, enjoy activities you couldn't do since your early 30s, and go out as often as you'd like without a worry in the world that your knee or back would act up. You can now breathe a sigh of relief knowing you're not going to fall and get injured because your joints are guarded. When you can do all of these things, you'll also get to look back in your life and think about all the things you won't have to deal with or worry over anymore. You won't have to be afraid of your decline into disability and becoming an embarrassment and burden to your loved ones because of your joint pain getting out of control. You won't live in fear that your joints are turning into dust with each passing year. No more agony and frustration with the hobbies and pastimes you haven't enjoyed in years. From now on, it's smooth sailing and smiles. The fact that you're still here means you're ready for this to change your life. So, to give you even more tools to end your joint pain, you're also going to get a free bonus gift with your Nutrition Hacks Joint Pain Hack. Your first bonus will be the absolute best thing I've ever seen when it comes to recovering from arthritis. It's called Eat Your Way Through Arthritis, a $97 value. Inside this arthritis recovering blueprint, you're going to discover foolproof techniques and food tricks to free yourself from autoimmune and age-related arthritis. You'll never think of arthritis the same way again when you see how to unlock your joints with a simple mayonnaise cheat code. One chef's delicious secret to reverse joint pain and protect you from illness 24/7. Why the key to autoimmune diseases and age-related arthritis still has doctors dumbfounded. And how to get the upper hand on your condition while still enjoying dessert, and so much more. When you really wrap your head around the amazing results you'll enjoy with the Joint Pain Hack, you will also feel proud to be one of the few people in this world who really gets better with age. Feel like you can keep up with your kids and your grandkids. Feel strength and vitality return to your body and mind, because staying active and able to interact with the people in your community is the secret to avoiding dementia, defending against heart disease, cancers, sudden strokes, and untimely death. On top of that, you're also going to get another free bonus that I personally wrote for Nutrition Hacks, which is 7 health foods that kill your joints, a $67 value. Don't make the same mistake I made when I believed I was doing the right thing for my health by eating right. I was making a huge mistake. I thought health foods were supposed to help you lose weight and your joints feel better too. But I was wrong. You might be surprised to find that the normally recommended foods for losing weight and staying healthy are actually doing your joints more damage. These foods are threatening your recovery no matter what solutions you decide to use for your joints. And if you don't read this, you are passing up the chance to live the free, independent life you desire. The fact is, anyone who suffers from joint pain and has tried to eat healthy before must read this. With the joint pain hack and the 2 free bonuses, you are guaranteed to get the pain-controlling results you've read about here. Let me ask you, what is that kind of freedom and joy worth to you? Now, most people who truly value their life and the lives of their children agree it's priceless. You see, I've been thinking about my experience with joint pain, going to the ER, and all the wasted time and effort I spent searching for something that would simply work. My joint pain was costing me $6,900 a month. And that's not to mention the emotional cost of what it did to my relationship with my wife, my sanity, and the price I paid for living each moment without this solution. There's no amount of money I can assign to that horrid, depressing feeling, knowing my health was getting worse every second I didn't do something. I'm telling you this not to upset you, but to get you to think about what not having a solution like this is costing you. If you're like most people, it's more money than you would like to admit. Think of it this way. What is your body and life worth to you? Is it worth $6,900? How about $690? Well, I'm sure you can imagine a secret like this is not cheap. I am doing everything I can to make it available to everyone who can rub 2 nickels together. That's why I'm actually spending out of pocket to cover production costs and manufacturing. Once enough people hear about this, it will be physically impossible for the people at Nutrition Hacks to keep up with demand. And even now, we expect our orders to run out of stock very soon. So when this happens, they will be forced to raise the price by 2 or 3 times what it is now. So now is the time to stock up. Here's how. Click on the Get Joint Pain Hack Now button below this video to start your order. When you do, you'll be taken to a selection page where you will choose the supply that's right for you. From there, you will have everything you need to secure your pain-free life. In just a few seconds from now, you begin to free yourself from joint stiffness, pain, embarrassment, frustration, those random, shocking twinges of hurt that seem to come from nowhere, the constant aching that keeps you up at night. It will all be gone when you make a selection and secure your order on the next page. And to be sure you're 100% thrilled with your decision, I am going to do something extra special for you. For whatever option you choose on the next page, I will guarantee your entire purchase price for a full 180 days from today. That means when you make your order right now, you won't risk a penny before you get to try the joint pain hack for yourself and enjoy the amazing joint recovering experience. If at any point between now and 180 days from now you're not 100% thrilled with the joint transformation you experience, simply send me an email and your money will still be here for me to give you a no-questions-asked refund. So the amount you invest today will pop right back onto your credit card as if it never left. I'll just be glad you gave yourself a chance to feel as good as I do, as great as my wife does, and just like everyone else who is enjoying the joint pain hack for themselves. Don't let anything stop you. Take advantage of this today by clicking the button below this video. If you're still watching, then you should know that this opportunity is about to end. So let me recap what you're getting here. I want you to have this one-of-a-kind joint pain reliever and rebuilder at a discounted rate you will never see again. I want to give it to you with no risk on your part for 180 days. You'll either love how you feel or you pay nothing. And you're also going to receive the free bonus, Eat Your Way Through Arthritis, which is yours to keep even if you decide you'd like a refund, as well as the 7 health foods that kill your joints. So you'll always know how to whip up yummy treats that get rid of joint pain in a flash, and which health foods to stay away from if you want to stay 100% pain-free. Sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Most people say so. It's hard to believe something like this is possible, that you're really sitting there with the chance to finally feel relief, with a 100% guarantee protecting you. And 2 free gifts worth over $150, yours to keep no matter what happens. And with all that, you get my solemn vow that you will experience a life-changing level of healing through your joints. The only question left for you is, what are you waiting for? I'm sure you've seen or tried other joint pain products to get rid of your pain, but how's that going for you right now? Are you 100% pain-free? You know you're not. You wouldn't still be watching if you were. So what's holding you back? Any skepticism or uncertainty you have will disappear as quickly as your joint pain when you try this solution. All that's left to do is give this its fair try. So click on the button below now. When you secure your order and use Nutrition Hack's Joint Pain Hack, you're going to enjoy a new level of joint comfort you haven't felt in years. Guaranteed! You don't have to get worse with age. And I am making you an ironclad guarantee to prove it. So you can only win when you make your order. You see, the fact that you're still watching means you want a solution for your pain. So to help you best, please allow me to tell you what's going to happen now. Because at this point, you only have two choices. You're either going to take care of this problem today, or you never will. There's no in between. The only other possibility is you telling yourself you'll do more research, which would be a shame because as I said earlier in the presentation, this is your only chance to get the joint pain hack at such a low price. The fact is, if you leave this page now, you may never get this opportunity again. And only you can make the choice. If you want to continue experiencing joint pain, stiffness, aches that keep you up at night, if you want to watch your life become smaller and smaller each passing year, as simple activities you used to love become harder and harder, then you can leave this page behind. You can go on a long search for a traditional joint pain remedy or whatever else you want to tell yourself is the answer, even when you know in the back of your mind that this is it. You can trick yourself into whatever you would like to believe and spend the rest of your life wasting the precious time you have. Or you can do what you know is right in your heart. Click on the Get Joint Pain Hack Now button below this video and secure your order now. When you arrive on the next page, select the order option that works best for you. Then, enter your address and payment details and the joint pain hack will be rushed for delivery on the same day. Make this commitment to yourself, to your family, and to everyone you know and love who hurts like you hurt. All because you aren't living your best life, a life free of joint pain, the active life you were meant to enjoy for years to come. All it takes is making a small step forward by clicking the button below and taking the next step. And if for some wild reason you're still not sure, I'm going to go the extra mile for you and basically pay you to try this because I care so much. That's right. I'm not going to let you leave this page without giving this a try, so when you click on the button below, I am also going to include an additional free bonus. When you make your order today only, you'll also receive one of the best books on inflammation you'll ever come across on this internet. It's called Inflammation Hacks, a $97 value. Now you can completely rid your body of any chronic inflammation, and this free guide will show you how. You'll discover the most cutting-edge inside secrets on how to finally get rid of the inflammation that's been lingering in your body better and faster than any over-the-counter painkiller. With this free bonus thrown in, there is no stone left unturned. Your joints will be forced to get healthy and pain-free or your money back. Click on the button below and take advantage of this amazing deal and grab your extra free bonuses right now. The moment you make your order, you will receive these reports through email, so these secrets will be yours immediately. You're just seconds away from relief. If you're still watching, maybe you have a question or two left in you. And if that's the case, I'm happy to answer them. But you should know that this presentation is ending now, and your time to grab Joint Pain Hack is running out. You know what to do now. I'd like to thank you for taking the time here with me today, and I wish you the best of luck with managing your pain. And the solution you're getting right now is bar none the best thing that has ever happened in my life. You'll get everything you need after you make your order of the Joint Pain Hack on the next page. So click the Get Joint Pain Hack Now button below this video and I'll see you on the other side. Still here? No worries, you might still have a few questions about the Joint Pain Hack, which is totally fine. So I'm going to take a short moment to answer some of the most common questions I've received. Question: how does it work? Answer: the Nutrition Hack's Joint Pain Hack is a 3-phase formula that works to relieve your pain, rebuild your cartilage, and rehydrate your joints. It does this with the same series of ingredients you learned about in the presentation: Agent Orange, chondroitin, and glucosamine, and hyaluronic acid, among a few others. The important thing to remember is these ingredients are healthy and natural, and the overall effect is better joint health than you have ever experienced, guaranteed. Question: Is it for men and women? Answer: yes, it works for both men and women. It worked for me, and it worked for my wife and our friends and family members too. Question: I'm over 60 years old. Will it still work for me? Yes, I am 59 and it worked for me, but I also gave this to my own mother and she's 83. She reports her joint pain has disappeared and she has started gardening again after more than 10 years since giving it up. That's not to mention that Big Joe the Pro is in his 70s and is actively using this every single day. The joint pain hack has been a blessing for everyone who has tried it. So if you are over 60, you can expect that this will work for you too. Question: are there side effects? Answer: there have been absolutely zero meaningful side effects reported with the use of Joint Pain Hack, so you can feel safe when you start to take yours. Question: what if my pain doesn't disappear instantly like it did for you? Answer: if you're not thrilled with how you feel right away, simply send us an email and let us know and we'll instantly refund your entire purchase price. When you make your order today, you risk absolutely nothing. Question: how long will this be available for? Answer: Joint Pain Hack is flying off the shelves as we speak. People from all over the world are clamoring to get their hands on it after hearing my story and the stories of others who are thrilled after they give it a try. So the opportunity will not be available much longer. If you see the button below, that means there's still time. All that's left for you to do now is for you to click it and select which option of Joint Pain Hack works best for you. Before I officially say goodbye, let me tell you there is not much time left. If you want to restore your joint health, then you must do this now. Take care of this while you're still thinking about it, or you never will. And please make sure to tell me about your results as soon as you take your first tablet. It'll be the best decision you've ever made.
So, what are you waiting for? Take action now and enjoy your friends' compliments.